I want to comment on an interesting. I've known about David Hockney's dissertation on the fact that artists in the old days used the camera obscura to project images onto a two-dimensional surface to reproduce reality and totally mesmerize magically the public at large. And bloody right, the skill and ability of these people. By the way, just because somebody projects something doesn't mean it looks really any good. These guys back in the 15th century, 16th century, absolutely brilliant, just gorgeous stuff. How they applied paint to a surface can never be done again in the same way. So don't get on your high horse about, oh, David Hockney, all the art curators and critics and all the museum types, they all got to know, oh no, these artists were just absolutely brilliant geniuses, fantastic. They produced reality on the canvas. No, they didn't. Hockney definitively showed that they used technology to project their images onto a surface and trace and copy it. But that does not diminish the value and the quality and the brilliance of that work. Now this, my commentary, and this is where Hockney falls short, or he just hasn't decided to deal with it, although I'm not crazy about Hockney's paintings. I love his drawings. I really think Hockney is a fabulous artist from a drawing perspective, and he's got this kind of wimpy sort of quality in the painting. There isn't that gutsy feeling that I look for when it's maybe a personal thing. I enjoy that sort of gutsy harshness almost. I love Georg Baselitz or Van Gogh or Goya. If I'm looking into art history, there is that kind of wimpy kind of feeling in Hockney, but Hockney does have an insight and an understanding, and he exposed the fact that artists in the 15th, 16th century began to use what is called technological devices that projected images onto a canvas. Now my point is, and I've said this before, we as human beings are struggling to become. We're kind of stuck. It looks like we have been historically stuck. In consensual history, I would say 6,000 years of history have shown that we're real fuck-ups because the greatest history are massacres and battles. So how can that be any kind of exaltation of us? And artists are a little highlight in that history because they produce work that has a quality that makes us feel that we can be more than what we're producing in our day-to-day life. We can actually live up to something much higher. This is something that artists seem to propagate. They are visionaries from the point of view that they're saying, don't be such a fucking asshole. Be a little bit more of what you can be. Why do you want to just sort of go into everything and screw it up? And we can do a lot better than that. So here we go. What I've been saying about that I believe we went in the wrong direction. And that is, technology has taken us down the road that has given us nuclear fission, Fukushima, Chernobyl. We have nuclear plants that are destroying the possibility of biological life to continue in a way that is, without pain. You get cancer. It's brutal. It's horrible. Listen to Blanche. Blanche is the person on YouTube that has nailed this. He has nailed this to a T. This is the person to listen to on the side of technology having totally fucked up and it's not working. So go on to Kevin Blanche, just type that in YouTube. Anyway, we've gone in the wrong direction, and the wrong direction started in the 15th century when people began to think that this magical reproduction on a surface to reproduce 3 dimensions in a 2-dimensional way in such a way that was absolutely brilliant and take nothing away. This work, no matter whether they project it or not, you look at a Vermeer and the quality is like being in Alice in Wonderland on steroids. This is way beyond Alice in Wonderland, what you could ever imagine. It is way beyond The Matrix. The idea, I love the movie The Matrix. Vermeer is The Matrix times 100. It's an exponent of The Matrix. Vermeer is brilliant. I don't care if he projected anything. All right, whatever. So the point is, we've gone in the wrong direction. Now, what happened before? What happened before that artists were focusing, thinking, interested in, meaning in the 1300s. If you're looking at the late 13th century, early 14th century and on, you have a group of artists, Giambui, Giotto, Masaccio. These were people considered to be, as Hockney refers to, as primitive. Does he say primitive? No, Van Eyck was considered still primitive. Total misnomer, primitive. It's ridiculous. These were artists that were focused on the heart center. It's what I've been going on about. It's actually not so much about incorporating technology, although technology can be beautiful and magical and all that thing, spaceships and all that, whatever you want, but we're kind of like pulling our lard ass way behind everything. If technology is the symbology of our becoming, well, we are really far behind that. We're not catching up, and we need to catch up. Now, what Hockney does not address, and this is something that I am very interested and concerned about, is the idea of creativity. Every human being has this quality of being able to be more than themselves. It's like learning is a form of creativity, tying your shoelaces. From early on, there is a level of creativity in that, which is absolutely extraordinary and beautiful. We, of course, take it for granted. But the next level is like everybody then all of a sudden the realization is, oh, I'm creative, I'm an artist. No, you're not. You're not fucking artists. Go fuck yourselves. You're not fucking artists at all. The reason you are an artist is because you're original. Originality is art. Everything else is creative, inventive. Steve fucking Jobs, somebody who is inventive and manipulative and applies things. Yeah, inventiveness. But is it original? It's not. Because originality is tied to our progress. And our progress is not technological. Our progress is what is the most essential part of a human being? It's the things that make you work well. What makes us work well is that we feel that others benefit. Not that I benefit, that others benefit. This is the progress in the human race. In spite of all the massacres and the killing and the atrocities and all that stuff that's occurred, which is history, which is culture, which is the biggest scam ever invented. Culture is not your friend. Our largest asset is our ability to care and to think beyond ourselves. Someone like Steve Jobs is the opposite of this. And technology is a representation. It doesn't need to be, but it has become other than what we are in our essence. We need to tie this in. I would gladly give up all technological advances to have a feeling of heart, of caring, of being with one another in a way that takes us forward. I'm not a Luddite. I love hot water running out of my tap. But the point is, it's not working in the context that we've come through. And this is where I say Hockney has not understood. He has revealed something, but he's not understood something. And this is, we've taken a wrong direction. Now, he may argue, because a lot of his work is very clumsy and crude, and I love his drawings. I love Hockney's drawings. I find his paintings rather predictable. They're not on the level of gutsiness that I enjoy, I like. It's possibly a taste. But we need to recover the essence of ourselves and not have it hidden behind some technological device or whatever. We need to progress. We need to We need to be progressives in the sense of getting to the source of our true ability. This is my thrust. This is why I come to the studio. I am here. I'm putting my eggs into this basket and saying, I gotta try and continue this process in order to figure out if there is more than what was left to me by my parents. And fortunately, I have been able, after some 40-some years, to actually, it's making sense. Something is working. Something is working. Between my rabbit and my fly, something is working. So my point about Hockney and the secret knowledge is to become aware where things are working for us and where they're not working for us. And just because we can reproduce reality on a two-dimensional surface doesn't mean it's working for us. No, it's not. There is an essence behind the way Vermeer, Rembrandt, Tiepolo, Caravaggio, these people were brilliant. They were fucking incredible in their originality. They used devices, but that is not their power. Their power is somewhere else. And it came from before. The power that they contain, whatever it is that they have, is what Giotto and the people before them used. So we need to get to that essence of our being that allows us to produce the things that are what I call the best in us. And if technology helps, that's fine, but I don't put a great deal of emphasis on that whole thing, or the people that promote that kind of thing. I don't put a great deal of credibility there. There's a lot more going on behind the scenes. Pull away the veil and you're going to see an incredible revelation. The veil is technology. Pull it away.